Welcome back to the Brand Doctor Show, everybody. We're here to fix you right up.
You know what? I love how you're like, we're about to record. It's a countdown. Then you're asking me questions before it starts
I'm like,
recording.
how you doing? How you? It's a quick, yeah, good or bad, I'm like, how you doing? We got 3 seconds. Tell me your answer. Let's go. How you doing, Doc?
No, it's going pretty great. Where are we at? It's April 30th, last day of the month, something like that.
Oh yeah, I know. And so a lot of changes are happening too. And it's funny because I thought I was going to be in Austin like 5 years ago, but even like late last year, I was like actively like packing things up. I tried to put some stuff in storage with family. Like I was trying to go, and I feel very upset that I'm still not in Austin. But I'm going to get a nicer apartment, nice-ish more apartment in about a month or so, and that's going to be good. On a side note, like a coworker of mine is saying, actually, 2 coworkers of mine are probably going to be leaving here soon. And with them gone, the environment might not be conducive anymore to me staying there. And so the job I was having, also me moving is also going to make me farther away from the job. So I might have to get a different job. So it's just like, that's weird.
What are we talking about? Why are they leaving? Or just other reasons?
It's just like time.
And
it's for good reasons. But
now, Are you saying will it not be tolerable because they're the only ones you get along with? What's going on?
That, and they're also the assistant managers. So it's like, it'd be either new bosses that replace them, or I'm going to get asked to do it. And I don't think I want that responsibility at this place. Luckily, I don't think my boss watches these videos, so that's good.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll find out later today.
And oh gosh, I do actually work later today. So I find that one thing I've been really struggling with, and I realized that I should soundboard with you, Doc, is I don't know what to do about the PolyTools website. We sort of talked about this a couple times ago, but I originally built it with Airtable and Softer, but it performed really terribly. It looked really terrible. It didn't really work out. Also, Airtable got more expensive, so I moved off of there. And then I tried building it with Framer, and the performance was even worse. And adding new tools was a very, very tedious process to Framer. And so it just really didn't quite work out. And then I finally moved over to Ghost, and it actually seemed like all checkboxes were checked. It was fast. It looked great. Adding tools was tedious, but not as tedious as Framer. But the cost of the monthly subscription, and I still never ended up finding myself adding tools to the site very often. So I ended up taking it down. And I don't know if also I had issues too where like for some reason my host was resetting my settings somehow. And the theme required certain settings to be enabled in certain ways for the actual stuff to show up on the site. So when they got reset every month or whatever, or every twice a month, I guess, I would end up having to go in and like fix the theme every couple weeks.
And so that seems super annoying.
Yeah.
So what's the problem that you're trying to solve? Is it to have a lower price for your hosting or the whole website?
That would be ideal. But I think also too, I created this list of tools. I mean, I made this channel based off of that newsletter and list, you know what I mean? And I wanted to provide that value to people. It's the creators toolkit, the Polymath toolkit for creators. And that's why I created this site, this brand, so I could build up a reputation around knowledgeable about being knowledgeable about tools. I don't know. It's frustrating because I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I kind of want to just somehow put it on my PolyInnovator site and call it a day, because I have like 30 posts lined up that I want to make. Here's the top tools for each category, but I really can't make those posts until I have a place to link to, either a website or on PolyInnovator.
Why can't you connect it to your other site? What's going on?
What do you mean?
So you're saying, can't you just fold it into your other site and just make it either?
So that's the thing. I can't really just make the site on PolyInnovator, which is what I want to do. What I thought about doing is making a page for each category, and then on that page, embedding the NoCodeDB database for that category. Just making a view for each category and calling it a day. And that technically could work, but it wouldn't be good.
Is there a reason why you don't use Web Studio anymore?
You mean Framer?
No. The Webflow alternative that's open source. It's the team that left, and
I never used them.
Yeah.
I used Framer, but I didn't use Web Studio.
Yeah.
I feel like the CMS issues of Webflow and Framer would still be kind of propagated on Web Studio.
To be honest, what you're describing, it sounds like probably just vibe coding what you want because
Yeah, that's it too.
it's not
You can do Ghost
too,
on there. That's interesting.
it's not too out of control. What you're asking, I probably think vibe coding will give you more freedom, give you what you want. You could probably do it with base 44 or lovable. Some people, I think what Wolf did it with maybe cursor, but I don't even think you need cursor, honestly. What you're looking to do, take about 4 hours to get used to it, but what you're describing, I think you can just vibe code it and then decide if you want to download the code, host it somewhere else, put it on GitHub, all those things. So it's just the learning curve and taking the time, but I think you could, if you're serious about it, you could probably do it in a weekend. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be vibe coding with Web Studio, but Web Studio
No.
is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Web Studio is just an alternative of a lot of them on the original team of Webflow. I don't know, there's beef on every team, right? So they left, they basically open source this thing, and they're like, hey, like, just use us instead. Up to 10,000 page views per month for free. I mean, it's a really generous starting point, and that's when you're hosting it, but you can always self-host too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, they've been around for a couple of years. They're pretty legit, and they keep scaling. So that might be an alternative for you if you like it.
I thought about, vibe coding because I felt like there was not very many options for me. But I also was thinking too, also just on a different note, the fact that this supports Ghost makes me realize I could probably, modify the PolyTools website or PolyInnovator website. I mean,
So what are you trying to build? Are you trying to build a directory? What do you?
That's what I was doing. I remember I made a directory. That's what it was. But I don't know. So that's why I was thinking, like, I don't know exactly what I should do. That's why I wanted a soundboard, because I've been kind of stewing over it. And then every time I get kind of close to making a decision or an idea, I kind of just get overwhelmed and I stop doing anything.
I have Lovable open right now. As you're talking, I might just make it as you're talking. But I would probably just do that. Especially I keep going back to 12-week year. And I mean, I'm not sure if we should talk about it now or later on, but between sponsorship games, 12-week year, I've been really ruthlessly trying to prioritize, like, is this getting me to my goal? What is my goal? Why am I doing it? If not, can I just put it to the side?
So that's kind of, for me, it's not so much is it getting me toward a goal. I'm just trying to get some stuff done. I'm trying to cap off some of these other phases. Like, the PolyTools phase isn't going to be finished once I finish this website, but I can stop stressing out about it, and I can just schedule out a whole bunch of content ahead of time and then move on. And that's one reason why I was, like, really trying to get the site down.
Why are you stressing about it?
Because I have that's good. I remade this site 4 times now, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get it done.
But if you remade it again, how does it fundamentally change your life right now?
Affiliate links and money.
Okay. How much traffic is going right now to it?
I mean, the site's down, so there's no traffic.
So before it was down, how much traffic was it, and how much revenue were you getting to it?
I didn't have enough. It was Ghost CMS, so I didn't have any trackers on it.
So it's one of those things, like, I just don't want you to spend so much time and energy if the outcome is unknown. It's like, yeah, affiliates could work, but how much is that worth the squeeze right now? How
much pain I'm doing?
Yeah. What is that? I can't even. Hold on a second. I mean, listen. I want you to stop talking about this. We do it right now. We've got a half an hour. I don't want to hear about it anymore. We could get it done in Lovable, and you'd be done.
I don't know if we can, because how do I add more tools to it? That kind of
Why
thing.
Not?
Like,
add it with Superbase. Why wouldn't you add it? Like,
I use NoCodeDB, so I had to move all the tools over and stuff like that.
So what?
And is Superbase more expensive?
Superbase, not how many. It depends on how much tools you're using. You could probably still be in the free tiers. How much is the NoCode DB?
It's free.
Well, it's hard to beat free, but I mean, I really don't. The lines of how many rows, thinking about how many categories and all those things, I don't think it would cost
30 categories,
you that much.
over 1,000 rows.
Let's just take a look at what it looks like. Or you could use Pocket. You could use hold on, Pocket. What is that called? It's Pocket Base.
Pocket Base. You've been holding out on me.
No. I've talked about it in the AHA stack back in the day. But people are using Pocket Base as an alternative, a smaller version of Super Base. And people are, it can even allow you to have up to 20,000 users with all the information.
I wonder if I can use Web Studio, though, to showcase a no-code DB front end on my Go site.
Hit up the Web Studio people. They're real active on Twitter and all that kind of good stuff.
Maybe I should just do that first before we do anything together. I'll hit them up and see, like,
I want results by Friday.
Dude, I have way too many interviews to be doing that. So the other thing we could talk about is I finally started doing creator interviews again.
Tell me about it.
So I had on some people I met at NAB. There's also someone who I feel like is really cool from the podcasting world who I met at Podcast Movement. I'm having her tomorrow.
Cool.
And I had 2 other interviews this week, earlier in the week. And those are really cool guests too. Some photographers and podcasters. It's just interesting to think about, the different level of creators. I mean, smaller, bigger, doesn't matter, but I'm getting so many really cool creators on the show.
I love it. How many guests do you have coming up?
So I haven't figured out May. I've already talked to people about like coming on in May, but we haven't scheduled anything just yet. So I feel like I have at least 3 or 4 kind of lined up there. Mm-hmm. And then I have a variety of creator friends who I've been trying to get on the show too. So I'm hopefully going to get them on here soon.
I love it.
Yeah. And that's already a ton of content. Like the first interview gave me 24 clips in Opus.
Love it.
I've also been playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's going to go downhill very quickly.
Why? It's so good.
My wife plays that all the time.
It's so addicting.
Mm-hmm. That's what
it's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's a problem. I played it this morning, Doc.
That's the problem.
I should have been editing it.
Terrible. What was I going to tell you? So, all right. So where do you want to go with this? I've got a couple of things that I could say.
Well, it's your turn to update, I did my side.
Okay. So, where's my book? And this is not, what, is that a Pikachu on top of that?
Yes. Pikachu.
Too much.
Okay, it was too much.
Okay.
But it tastes so good.
So, again, we're still signing contracts and everything, but at this point, this is what we're looking at for in the pipeline.
Okay.
We have under contract for sponsorship, $36,000 for the year, and potential in $81K. And so we're still waiting for a couple of some are more 3 months and then 6 month. If it goes well, boom, 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 boom.
It's 36 or 81 or together combined.
36 locked in, 81 potential at the high.
Okay.
And
so either or, not together. Okay.
Correct.
And then you have 20 more thousand to get to the 100K.
Yeah. And to me, it's like the other 20 could be a mixture of affiliate, could be services and everything like that. This is a huge chunk. It might not be a huge amount for some creators, but to me, that's life-changing. And I view this as I have very clear goals. I set this up when I was in Japan. I might have told you this, but I was in Japan. There's this shop that basically you sit there, you drink tea, and you write yourself a letter. Where do you want to be in a year? Mm-hmm. And my goal was by the end of 2025 into 2026, but really Q4 2025, my goal is to pay off debt, to pay off the house, and then go from there and just basically decide what I want to do next phase.
Yeah.
That being the case, I'm not one of those people I got to make 6 figures or high 6 figures a year. I am really trying to figure out how to live at a minimal level and have enough money to live, but not where I'm stressing out, if that makes sense.
I think we talked about this in some of the earlier episodes of this series, Doc, but it's funny because the minimalism aspect is so tantalizing, and I keep thinking about it this week actually, where I'm like, I really love the idea of having a minimal tech setup. My camera is kind of big, it's one of the bigger cameras I've had, but it's small enough I could fit it in a bag. My computer is basically the size of 2 Lunchables stacked on top of each other, not in a box, but a Lunchable just by itself. And I just keep thinking I have a little to-go carry box put everything in there, including even my arm, my microphone arm, and then like a portable monitor, and just have a full setup. I even thought about getting a new microphone because I've had issues with the micro USB anyways, but get a smaller one that I could take it off and take it with me when I go places. And it's just like so interesting of an idea. Just have a box that has all your tech stuff. You could use it at home when you have two monitors, or you can get those little AR glasses to take with you, and that's all you need for a screen.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And we get to travel more.
Yeah, that's the main goal. Like, I don't have huge aspirations of I have to, have this much in savings. That would be nice, but I want to. After the first check came in this week, I paid off all the credit cards. I'm like, now I am like, every extra dollar pretty much is just throwing it at the mortgage to get it knocked out. Like that is the goal for the sprint for the next. We're in April. The goal is to sprint until like January, and so I'm streamlining using AI and automation for creating scripts. And then my queue is like we talked about. I had it right here. It was like either 100,000, or 100,000 subscribers or 10K a month, like that. But we were talking about it when we were having these accountability calls. I'm like, I'd rather have the 10K a month. And again, that's to pay off all those things. That is not me pocketing that much.
Because if you didn't have like the debt, I feel like you'd probably be leaning more towards subscribers. But because of the debt and because of your financial goals to travel and do more stuff that way, it makes more sense for you to be leaning towards that.
Exactly.
And like for me, I'm like halfway towards your mindset. You know what I mean? Because I actually thought about this new apartment that I like. I could probably set up a nicer YouTube studio there. Have more furniture and more stuff like in that space, bigger space, better space. But I thought about it, like, I might just like pay the rent every month. I would rather just eat the cost of rent, but then travel around and just, take my dog with me, take my tech with me, and just go do stuff left and right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, and we're in different spots. Like, obviously.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I like how we have very similar mindsets.
Yeah. No, I think, but that's, I think I love travel. I think, and also, too, I think we talked about this. Identifying before even like looking at how much I'm trying to pay off, like I've substantially dropped down how much like we ate out, how much I was doing, because the bill, like I just can't believe how much I was paying to eat out. Like, and so like cooking, and I'm doing reviews on barbecuing and everything like that, because of course that's another tax.
You should do a Substack where you're talking about barbecuing.
Yeah, I should. I do love talking.
I made a new Substack. I don't know if I told you this or not, but I made a new Substack where I talk about traveling.
No, you did not tell me about this.
Yeah, because it's been kind of like incognito, where I don't really talk about it much.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can find the link for you here.
Yeah.
Because I could just I probably will move this to my main website at some point as a different tag, because I love the idea of just having all my stuff in one site, and you just have different tags and different newsletters. That's one thing. That's another thing too. I need to actually move my website off of Ghost Pro, because they limit me to only having 3 newsletters when Ghost can support like 8 or more or whatever.
I didn't know that.
And they're really expensive. They're actually like the most expensive option when it comes to Ghost hosting. And so I need to get it off of Ghost Pro. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so I also kind of wanted to be on Substack. Substack has that social network. I really like being on there, and I felt like I'm going to experiment more with this, travel stuff. I have a bunch of tags. Let me look at the tags real quick, because I think you might get a kick out of that too. Dashboard. And then where's the tags? So I have EDC, so everyday carry, one bag, so like one bag travel. And then slings, because I've been obsessed with slings, suitcases and travel backpacks, travel creators, so I can talk about other creators doing this kind of content, travel tips, and then different trips that I've taken. And I feel like each one of these tags really kind of adds a different element to the whole blog. And so that's one reason why it's on there on its own too, because then I can have multiple tags in the same place. That's actually why I started the gaming channel and gaming newsletter off of my main website and channel, because I wanted to have multiple different games. So each game would have its own tag or playlist. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Taking a look right now. Let's see.
I'm going to copy these links for the show notes.
I have a couple questions about thumbnails and ChatGPT and a couple things I'm working on. But where do you want to go before I go that route?
I mean, we're going with the flow, Doc. This has been a little bit more like catching up for one, because we kind of The last couple episodes, we were kind of doing more teaching rather than accountability or talking. I think the last episode we tried to get a little bit into the accountability stuff, but yeah.
So I'm not sure if you've been seeing it on Twitter or on Reddit. There's a couple people that feel like you can create like basically pretty like B tier, almost A tier thumbnails with using the new features in ChatGPT. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that, but I'm willing to try it. And so I was in ChatGPT and I was kind of just going through the structure. What just happened? That was weird. Something in cursor just updated.
Your internet kind of cut out for a bit too.
It's weird. Huh. Very interesting. And what I'm doing here, basically, let me go back here. Missed. Basically, YouTube creation, I'm looking to automate the thumbnail process.
Yeah, I really don't like doing thumbnails. I feel you on that.
So this is what I did. I said first, how can I create better thumbnails? And then I said, hey, I want to make content around business regarding automation AI. Create a daily, and I want to create daily content. Break down a thumbnail system or different themes I should work on. So it broke that down. Then it has different templates. So it's 3 different templates. Then it created like, hey, this is kind of what it would look like. Have you seen where some people are just uploading basically transparent backgrounds in themselves and like, hey, use this image, bring my hands? Like, have you seen anything like that?
Didn't we talk about tools to do it? Oh, by the way, Opus is working on a thumbnail tool.
Oh,
I forgot to tell you that.
Is it out yet? Is it in beta, alpha?
I can't recall. Let me see if I can find it. I'm in the wrong browser.
Because I think we talked about it. What's the other one I was using last year? The studio one. What was it called? Spotter Studio. Spotter Studio. It was interesting. Excuse me. It didn't make much of a difference trying it. For my audience anyway. So I didn't want to keep spending like $50 a month on it. So I'm trying to use tools I'm already using, such as I think I'm pretty much a power user at ChatGPT. Okay. But only a couple now.
I got a link here, by the way. So keep talking. I'm gonna pull it up, and then we'll finish. We'll do my thing after you.
So that's the main thing. I'm just basically I'm looking because and then of course I get hit up all the time by different editors, YouTube editors. And I got on a couple calls, and basically I showed them my numbers. I showed them search. I showed them all these things. And guess what the reality is? Most of them are like, well, like we would love to do this. Maybe it would be initial, but they're like, yeah, it's a search channel. So it's not really, basically they're like, just use best practices. And so looking at the AI and automation space, some of the biggest in the space that are growing substantially, they're just super niche on like N8N and stuff like that, but their thumbnails are not out of this world. It's not. You're showing.
To be honest, I should probably show you my Canva template after this.
Yeah.
Because in reality, I make pretty simple thumbnails, but it's pretty nice overall. Okay, so this, to anyone watching this is still pretty new. It's not going to be exact, I don't think, just yet. So if there's any issues, that's probably why. You insert your link, publicly facing video. Let's put a picture there and get a free thumbnail. I think you do need to have an account per se, but you don't have to have like a paid account. But this is actually the first time I played with it besides, watching the team do it for us.
Did you do it while you were out and about, like at the event?
No, this is like newer than the event. They made this since NAB actually.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, you toss in a video, which was for me like the best tech for live streaming that I put in there, and then I put my picture, and it's gonna try to come up with a thumbnail. So it's really funny you brought this up. I totally forgot about this, to be honest. Like they literally talked about this to us like last week, and I completely forgot.
Can I see this? Are you allowed to bring people to see this URL? Is this a secret? What's going on?
I believe it's secret because it's not quite public facing yet.
Are you supposed to show this off on a live stream? What's going on here?
Well, we're not live, so I feel like, overall, they want more eyeballs on it eventually, anyways. And so if I'm the first one to share it, oh well. And again, like I said, this is like alpha kind of thing, so or beta. Can't remember, probably beta. I'm very curious to see what the results will be. Here's the hoping it doesn't crash. So while we're waiting here, I wanted to see too, how have you been doing analytics wise on your channel?
Great
You're
question.
muted, boy. Okay.
Great question. It is in the last quarter, month, week. What do you want?
Let's say week and month.
On par with everything. What do you think about this?
Why did it make me look like that? That's not my picture.
Hey, that's pretty. Don't you have a pose like that?
No, but like that's not my face.
Oh, I know. That's a pretty good.
They like changed my face.
They're trying. Well, let's see about that. That's weird. Wait. You didn't upload a picture of yourself?
I did. This is like my post. This is my picture, but they changed my face. The fact that it got like some random tech, I think, is interesting, but it's kind of cropped out. So that's weird. That is interesting. It just made this on its own.
Reminds me of vidIQ's one.
Yeah. For context, this is the video. So I wonder if it will pull from like this is actually the picture that I did for it anyway. It's just a random YouTube button, best tech for live streaming, call it a day. Yeah. Little live in the corner, but I didn't realize it was going to get covered up by the numbers. But so like technically speaking, this is actually better than what I posted.
So two things. I'll answer your question, then I have more questions on this. What it reminds me of is like the vidIQ one where it has my mouth very strange, and you're like, keep it. It's just very disturbing.
Yeah.
So
I looked more like Austin Evans in that picture.
I don't know who Austin Evans is. I can't.
You should probably know him. He's a pretty big YouTuber.
Hold on.
It's like not knowing minus tech tips. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's number
KBHD.
one. Number two, I would look at. Oh, so my numbers are pretty much steady. They popped off in December and January, I think because of text to app and everything where people were vibe coding over the holidays, but also too, at the end of every year when it's the holidays and people are trying to be motivated what they're going to do for the new year, that always goes up like that. So the numbers have been pretty static or pretty consistent. I'll say consistent. My Web3 video, I'll have to do a new one updated there. That's pretty much the main standout.
Bro, it's been like 2 months, hasn't it, since you posted that? You should. You're giving me crap for not doing stuff.
I think I've already done one as a live stream. I was just going to repurpose it again. Yeah. I've already done it. And then I'm doing my universal ones like Zapier for 2025. Yeah. My interview one with Sako, that one pretty good. So, in the data button one, that's done pretty good for affiliates, and the one with Lovable. A lot of people are hitting me up that want me to do. I don't want to do this video, but I'm just sick and tired of the comments. How to create a Chrome extension, Google Chrome extension, vibe coding. I have no interest. I've talked about it before in the past, but that keeps coming up. So I think I'm just going to do a live stream and do a full breakdown. And the answer, and then now with the sponsorships, now I'll have more queue, like stuff in the queue to do for sponsors. But I did a challenge yesterday to see if I could create 5 videos in one set, like one batch. And that was interesting. I got it done. And then I tried this new tool called Zite. Let me bring it. It's like Site, but it's Z. I'll put it in the chat. It's interesting. It's like all these other tools, but they're really focused on like turning data into custom business software. So it's like Lovable for businesses, basically. It's invitation only. The founder we're connected on LinkedIn. So I was like, hey man, can like I get an invite real quick so I can do a video?
Let me get that invite.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. You're basically doing everything. If you watch the video, it's just like if you're going to be doing something with Lovable, right? So it's the same text box, it's the same thing. I mean, everyone's doing the same exact format because it's worked really well, like bold and everything. You can connect it with Airtable. You can edit it. I think this is going to replace a lot of what people used Glide and Softer for years
Yeah,
ago.
because those suck now.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it kind of just depends on. I think Lovable and Bolt have a chance because the sheer volume and who their target audience is. Softer needed to make more money because of the VC that it brought on. So they had to focus and pivot. I think Lovable and Bold and Base 44 are going to really be where most no coders want to be, or most people that don't want to code. So it's kind of exciting. It's like no code again, like 5 years ago. But
I can definitely see that like being a new wave. That's nice.
Yeah,
Especially for your content.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, and I've been around here for 5+ years, so it. But I will say this: I'm also making a distinction of my content now that I'm focusing more on small businesses and entrepreneurs, not just vibe coding and people indie hacking, because I can't take that.
Yeah, I wonder if we can do something together. I don't like the pressure of like doing something on the live stream kind of thing, but some of the stuff that I need to do is like record firmmark and benchmark testing apps and video games on my other computer here, right? And while I planned on just recording that and talking over it, I wonder if I'm gonna have to do the old style of YouTube where you like record it separately and then do a voiceover afterwards, which is not something I'm used to doing. And like I kind of find it difficult because you have to like play the video at the same time while you're trying to talk over it. I guess you could technically record it like Premiere maybe or something like that, but I don't have that, so I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what triggered when you were saying this, but my wife watches a lot of like kit bashing like genre. So it's like people making dioramas or making these models out of trash. And like if you're looking at like Stutson Studio, like Bill making things, the reason I bring that up is I was looking at they basically keep the same format every single video. And I was thinking about I think I'm going to try to take that format and then apply it to automation and AI. So what they do is they talk about like what they're going to build, then they go and use a sketch pad of like this is what I'm about to make. Then they do a couple
you
bench.
can do like a whiteboard too.
Exactly. And so what I'm planning to use, what I don't even know how to say this. Is it Excaladral?
Excaladral, yeah.
Yeah.
You could use it in Obsidian. I'm just saying.
Here we go. Every time you say it, you have to drink.
You know what? We should start doing that. Just have a little bottle right there.
It is. And I was like thinking about that. I was like, I could just talk about like, hey, this is what people are trying to build. Let's just go sketch it out right now of like what it would take to input it. Then let's just use a tool and do it. It's a one take thing. It's like, hey, this is the topic. This is what people are talking about on Twitter, or this is what they're saying in Reddit. People are asking about this. I was even going to do it because I'm not sure if you've seen it. So many people are talking about stupid one gorilla versus 100 men.
I've been seeing that too on TikTok.
And I was like, I was actually just going to use a Rosebud and create a simulation game of like that and just talking about like, this is what it would be. We need to know like how strong they are. And there's just a vibe coded game about it. But I was thinking about like, it allows me to be scalable. I can move so much quicker. And yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to try doing. Almost daily content like that.
What I was gonna say before you rudely interrupted. No, I was kidding. No, before we went on the tangent, there is that like we could do a live stream together where we're co-working and you're doing some sort of whiteboarding thing, and I think that us talking on either end wouldn't necessarily matter. So if you're doing like a talking, like if you're recording, we're doing your StreamYard, I think that'd be the best way. And then if you're recording in like Ecamm or whatever on your computer, doing your whiteboard stuff or something like that. And then you could use that video footage for your channel. But at the same time, I'm sitting there doing benchmarks and waiting for that to process. Yeah. I'm not sure. technically it's going to be a lot of waiting on my end. So maybe I could write or something like that while I'm doing that too. I don't know.
Yeah. So I like the working sessions and everything.
Because I haven't got around to actually just doing that. And really all I need to do is record footage of me doing that and footage of the benchmark, finishing up and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like
that. I have
that.
to do it for multiple operating systems. And it's like, I made it kind of a bigger deal for myself. I'm supposed to basically only do Ubuntu and Windows, but I really prefer Zorin OS myself. And I want to install Zorin on there. So I thought I would do another video with that. And then I still haven't even touched this freaking Home Assistant device because you have to have Home Assistant installed on an operating system or install it by itself, I guess, technically speaking, which means it's supposed to be the last thing I do on there because I don't want to reinstall multiple operating systems over again. I don't want to install Home Assistant just to have to reinstall Ubuntu to do the video. So it's the last thing I need to do. But like you can see where it's starting to pile up now.
Let's just I'm gonna be doing, like, for lack of a better term, like I already did build with me sessions, but I think just bringing that back again, and being really intentional. I'll probably using my second channel, just because I plan on streaming quite a bit coming up. But
so that's interesting. One thing I also wanted to talk to you about too, I brought this up to you before and you always give me a lot of crap about it, but I'm curious to see if we could try to figure it out. I love the idea for like 30 days doing 100 YouTube posts a day. And that includes like a long form video, long form as in like 15, 20. Maybe you could do a 2-hour one if you wanted to too, but a live stream, a video, a community post, and then like 97 shorts all in one day. And then you have to wait 24 hours essentially because of the limitation and do it again the next day at the same time.
Did you just say, I missed it. Did you say 100 pieces of content a day for 30 days?
Yeah. On YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you said. Okay. I black out every time you say that.
I am very offended, Doc, and I'm going to shock you. Okay.
That's why I'm over here. So you want to do this on a brand new channel or your current channel?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I feel like I could do it on all three of my channels. The PolyInnovator would probably be the least effective. PolyTools would make the most sense because I'm talking about content anyways on there. And then PolyInnovator Gaming would probably be the most rewarding if I were to do that.
All right.
I don't think I'm going to do it, and I don't have the time to do it right now. But I'm thinking about it, and so I need to talk about it, or else I'm going to keep stewing over it.
Just do it. I need you to stop stewing over things and start doing stuff. That's the main thing.
I am doing stuff. I started doing interviews again. I went to a conference. I am doing stuff.
I love it. So this is okay. So when are we going to do this training session? When do you want to do it? This
training session? You mean like co-working session?
Yeah, co-working, training, whatever you want to call it. You can call it, I don't know, pie session. I don't care.
We can figure it out after the call. What do we want to wrap up on, Doc? What's the final talk?
I mean, I think we did all of it. I mean, I think I need you to give me the alpha URL so I can play with this thing right now and stop.
Opus, I'm not going to give it to him, but we're going to change subjects here, Doc.
I don't know why a new Indian restaurant, and then you're like, no. There's
a new Indian restaurant in my town, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Stop trying to change things like that.
Well, because we went to that cool Indian restaurant, and now there's a new one called Curiosity in town.
That's pretty cool. No, I plan on focusing on trying to close these last 2 deals, and then I'm going to start creating content for sponsors. And I need a tool so I can start spitting out these thumbnails quicker to test. So to be continued. We'll find out next week.
All right.